Hi, a film I watched this week was Ghost Ship, the 1980 nautical horror directed by Alvin Rakoff. It's the story of a cruise ship that's rammed by a mysterious vessel in the middle of a party only a few days before the captain is due to retire and is grumpily in the middle of training his replacement, who's on board with his wife and children. The only survivors of the sinking are the trainee captain, his family, the existing captain, a junior officer, his girlfriend, and the ship's comedian. And they find their way on board the mysterious vessel, a seemingly deserted cargo ship. But they soon discover that it has a secret, horrifying Nazi past, and one that is still alive in the present as a mysterious and monstrous force. It's dreadful. I had been looking into this with a view to possibly covering it in the podcast as some kind of lost Stephen King-esque Shining style horror story, but it's really dreadful. The version I watched was possibly cut down. It seemed to have a slightly different running time to the one that's normally listed, but I found it to be nevertheless very disjointed and quite poorly directed. It was Rakoff's only horror film. He'd had a long career in television drama. He was effectively the man who discovered Sean Connery. And the casting here is noticeably quite bad. We have George Kennedy as the captain, who is unpleasant right from the start. There's no real arc of his character because he's always awful. And yet, at the same time, the actor playing the trainee captain, Mr. Marshall, is boring to the point of inducing a coma. It's an extremely dull and uninteresting character. We also have Saul Rubinek, character actor who's been in numerous recognizable roles as the comedian, who is killed off very quickly in such an elaborate and bizarre way that you think that the other characters, assuming that it's some horrible accident rather than a malevolent force, is actually going to be a plot point, but it isn't. It just makes them look stupid. The other element that I found odd was that Victoria Burgoyne stars. She seems to have gone straight to this from shooting Sharda, the ill-fated 1979 Doctor Who serial that had to be abandoned in the middle of production. With these two back-to-back, it appears that she has something of a cursed agent, particularly as she later was Donald Trump's co-star in Ghosts Can't Do It. This is not in any way a good film. There's moments that are entirely laughable, like when the characters discover rooms full of rubber skeletons or deep frozen RAF officers, or when a projector starts playing film of Hitler and it carries on showing on the wall even after the projector's been kicked to pieces. And one character is driven into such a frenzy that he attacks the wall as though he's trying to get at Hitler. The film is really sloppy and badly thought out. There's room for a good idea here. A Nazi ghost ship, I think, has potential, but it's so sloppy and so lacking in energy and perfunctory and so just half-hearted. There's no effort being made really at any point. And the result is something that, even, even as Nazi ghost ship movies go, is deeply unsatisfying.